It's the NFL on EA Sports, and we've got some history in this battle of AFL alumni. It's the Los Angeles Chargers and the Miami Dolphins, and it comes your way next on Madden Football.
The address is 347 Don Shula Drive in honor of the legendary coach. The stadium is Hard Rock Stadium in Miami Gardens, Florida. So good to have you with us, Mike Tirico and Greg Olsen. Greg, one of the joys of covering the league week in, week out, you watch guys grow and mature, and all of a sudden you turn around and look at the quarterbacks we have in this game. Now we're looking at guys who have arrived at that magic term, franchise quarterback.
Yeah, I think you just have to give a lot of credit, of course, to the player themselves, the work, the ability to invest in themselves to develop, but also in these organizations. They continue to surround these quarterbacks as they've gotten older with better talent, better systems, play to their strengths, maybe protect some of their weaknesses. That's what it takes to play at a high level at the quarterback for a long time in the NFL, and give credit to both these players and both these organizations. I think it's official. They have their quarterback of the future, and the future looks bright.
And they'll bring him down just shy of the 30-yard line. So here come the Chargers, the offense, getting set to come out, led by their quarterback, the 6th overall pick of the 2020 draft. It's Justin Herbert.
His skill set can be determined by the letter A. Arm talent, accurate, athletic, and he's got a kind of aura about him. There's something special that they know when he's under center, we have a shot. First-round pick. He's got everything you want for the quarterback position. He needs to take that next step from being a legitimate, bona fide franchise quarterback to a superstar in the NFL.
That's good for 27 and a first down.
Didn't take them long to get now to their opponent's side of the field. I like the idea of starting this drive with some explosive pass plays. That's going to open everything up, both underneath in the passing game and on the ground. So big play to get this drive off to a fast start. As a route runner, once you identify zone coverage like they were playing here, the key is find open space and stay in it. He did a nice job here because that was not a big hole. The quarterback had to put a little extra on that one, and they were able to make the completion.
He'll be hit as he throws this time, and it's going to fall incomplete. And he might be fortunate just to avoid the sack, and it'll set up a third down.
They got there in a hurry, didn't they, Mike? I mean, luckily for him, he saw that free rusher coming, and at the very least was able to get that ball out to prevent the sack.
And this is going to be incomplete. That is great work there, making things difficult defensively. It'll set up a fourth down.
And this passing game continues to come up short these last couple plays. That's 2 consecutive incompletions in a row. Now they're staring fourth down right in the face.
And this is going to work out for them. Out of bounds, and they'll mark it inside the 10. The Miami offense will make their way onto the field, led by their quarterback from the University of Alabama, Tua Tagovailoa.
The coaches spend all week, Mike, drafting up their opening script. These are the plays that they feel the best with to not only attack the defense early, but try to get an idea of what sort of matchups they're going to see throughout the course of the game. Now, all of that is thrown out the window. None of the plays take into account snapping it this close to your own goal line. They've got to try to get themselves some breathing room, pick up a first down or two. That will allow them to get back on track, executing the rest of that opening script. Recognizing the blitz is just the first step in the process. For a quarterback, understanding who you can account for with the protection and then who you can't account for. That's where your hot receiver comes in. He points to his receiver, who the defender they're hot off of. That guy comes, gets the ball out of his hand, and results in a completion.
And he'll be brought down after a short pickup, but that is enough for a first down.
One of the easiest ways to negate these really good pass rushes in the NFL, Mike, is just to simply get the ball out of the quarterback's hand as fast as possible. And sometimes it's by design, sometimes it's based on need. But really nice job there by the quarterback, getting into the hands of his receiver and then see what he can do after the catch.
That's a nice pickup on a first down throw. It's a gain of 8.
These are the play calls, Mike, that offensive coordinators use to just get their quarterback and their passing game into some sort of rhythm. Easy pitch and catch, get the ball out of his hand, see a completion. These typically, as the game goes on, lead to bigger and bigger gains.
Hill brought in motion. Play action. Tagovailoa. Down the field, he's got Washington. And out of bounds he goes, just shy of midfield. They get 20 on the connection. First down, Miami.
Really nice throw there. The ability to throw the ball out on the perimeter. Yes, arm strength and all of that, but it's also timing. The timing of the route. When is that wide receiver coming out of his break to deliver that ball accurately as his head comes around? If the ball's thrown too early, the receiver's not ready. If the ball's thrown too late, that's when disaster strikes.
Opening carry of the game for the speedster, Devon Achane. And he is going to be stuffed well behind the line of scrimmage. That play going absolutely nowhere.
The speed and the get-off by the big interior defensive tackle, Mike. I mean, he got through there so fast, he almost took the handoff himself.
After the loss of 3, it is 2nd and 13. Out of the gun, Tagovailoa. Over the middle, it's taken in by Waddle. And they'll get about 8 out of that one, but still a little work to do now on 3rd down. Here's Tagovailoa. Now a screen set up for Achane. And he's going to get there. He got the first down, not by a whole lot, but that'll keep this drive rolling.
The most impressive thing about this drive, Mike, has really just been their efficiency. They've just continued to pick up first downs, fresh sets of downs. We just saw there with that 3rd down conversion, continue to possess the ball. These opportunities to come away with points continue to go up.
Tua going to give it to Achane. And he tries to get back to the line of scrimmage, but will not happen here. I think he's going to lose a yard.
Every team makes an emphasis on winning first down, but as a defense, when you're able to take them back for a loss, 2nd and long, you can really become more of a pass-centric defense and really tips the scales into your favor.
A shotgun snap for Tua. Oh, and this one's going to wind up incomplete. That's one you'd think he'd be able to corral. But he can't find the handle, and it's going to lead to a 3rd down.
He decides to go with the safe throw and throws it well short of the sticks. And at this level, Mike, you just can't miss layups like that.
Man in motion here is Washington. That's deep for the back of the end zone. That is incomplete. Well read that time defensively, making it difficult downfield, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
So I like the aggressiveness of the call, but as the rest of the game unfolds, Mike, there needs to be better overall execution. A little bit cleaner, and next thing you know, they're going to hit some of those big shots.
And no return forthcoming. It's a touchback, and will come out to the 20-yard line. The Chargers offense ready now for their 2nd drive. They'll search for the first points of this game as they begin the drive on 1st and 10. It'll be taken down rather swiftly after a gain of just 3.
It's not the big play they were hoping for, but first down efficiency, staying ahead of the chains, is what every offense is trying to find, and it brings up a manageable 2nd down.
2nd and 7. They'll try to get the running game going. His first carry, and he'll be stacked up at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play.
Depending on the situation or the down and distance, Mike, the linebackers have different reads. Sometimes they read the offensive lineman. Sometimes they read the running back. In this case, his read brings him right to the play. He's able to make a big stop and keep the game to nothing.
Throwing is Herbert on third down. They go sideline, and he stays in bounds. Got the feet down in time. It's a first down. They're locked in on this drive. Second connection for that pair. This one gaining 22.
These third down conversions are just so important, Mike. Everybody stresses we want to possess the ball, give our offense as much opportunity to end as many drives as we can, scoring points. So if you want to stay on the field, you better be good on third down.
On first down, Herbert. That's right side and brought in by Williams.
Certainly not the biggest play of the day, but a good example of picking up positive yardage, staying ahead of the chains by a well-timed ball and a well-timed route.
They'll come up now for second down and 4. On play action, it's Herbert. Oh, a lot of chances on that one. It was bouncing around, but it falls incomplete.
I think you just rushed that decision just a little bit downfield. I mean, it's one thing to trust your guy to make a play in tight coverage, but I think if he was a little bit more patient in his progression, there was an easier throw out there that wouldn't make him have to throw such a tight window ball and put his receiver in a tight spot.
And this is going to be incomplete. That is great work there, making things difficult defensively. It'll set up a fourth down.
Every so often, Mike, you can see these offenses, and it looks like the passing game gets a little bit too predictable. And as the defense continues to flood the back end of these zones with extra defenders, they're continuing to force this quarterback to not only make some difficult throws, but to put the ball in harm's way.
The Dolphins offense about ready to get going on their second possession. They were forced to punt first time they had it, but they'll try again in this scoreless game. It's 1st and 10. On first down, Tagovailoa. He'll be forced to just throw that one away. It's incomplete. We'll try again. It's 2nd and 10. From the gun, here's Tua. The pass rush gets home, and he goes down.
The best thing they did here, Mike, is keep their rush lane integrity. What that means is you have to rush the quarterback as a unit. Keep him in the pocket. Keep him on that X. And when you do, man, he becomes a sitting duck for this pass rush.
Work to do following the sack. It is 3rd and long. Hill brought in motion. 3rd and long. Here's Tua. And that is incomplete.
This offense has to find a way to be better on 1st and 2nd down, Mike. Living in these 3rd and long situations, must pass, is not a recipe that their offensive coordinator wants to operate in.
Here's Ryan Stonehouse now, as he'll hit this from just outside of his own goal line. Davis to return it. And it's a good solid return as he takes it back up near midfield. The Chargers offense ready to see what they can do with this next possession. They'll begin with terrific starting field position. It gets going with 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Herbert. He runs with it.
Well, let's give credit here to the coverage unit, Mike. There was nowhere to go with the ball for that quarterback. He had no choice but to just tuck it down himself, and he's able only to pick up a short gain.
They face 2nd down and 7. A handoff as they try to run it here. And he'll only manage to pick up 3 yards, and that leads to 3rd down. Out of the gun, here's Herbert. And this ball incomplete on third down.
We're starting to see a lot of this on third down, Mike, where they're going to rely on the run after catch to pick up these third down conversions. You know what that depends on? You have to actually complete the ball, and in this case, it falls incomplete, brings up fourth down.
Here's J.K. Scott now, as he's on to punt for the Chargers. This one angles out of bounds, and the mark comes inside the 15-yard line. They'll motion the tight end, Smith. Now a first down throw for Tua. So we've come to the end of a fairly evenly played opening quarter. Nothing yet on the scoreboard. And we're back to South Florida after this. Here's 2nd and 3 to go. Here's a give to Achane. And he'll get about 4 out of that one. That should be enough to move the chains. It is first down.
I think this second down call, Mike, they were hoping that at worst they had themselves set up for a third down and short. But there's no need for third down. He was able to get enough on second, and they get a fresh set of downs.
In motion, it's Waddle. They'll stay on the ground with Achane. And some space opens as he's brought down following a gain of 6. They'll work now on 2nd and 4. Sending a receiver right. On play action, it's Tagovailoa. He'll be forced to just throw that one away. It's incomplete.
You can't fault the quarterback on this one, Mike. He really didn't even have much of an opportunity. By the time he hit the top of his drop and got his eyes downfield, the defense was all over him, and he really had no choice but to just get that ball out of his hand and live to play another snap.
They'll motion the tight end, Smith. Tua now on third down. That's caught. Left side. It's complete. And they will bring him down on the other side of midfield.
Every once in a while, it just comes down to you need somebody in the huddle to just make a play. And it wasn't a whole lot fancy here. The quarterback just dumps the ball down, a quick underneath completion, and then really it's the yards after catch that did the rest. And that's what it takes. You're not always going to have the perfect play. You're not always going to dial up the perfect play against the perfect look. Sometimes players need to make plays, and that was a good one there.
They'll motion the tight end, Smith. On 1st and 10, here's Tua. He's got room at the 30. And they're going to move this ball inside the 25-yard line.
Nice job there, getting the ball to your slot receiver and then letting him get to work. It's a nice feeling as a quarterback when you can just have a short throw, still result in a big game.
A fresh set of downs to work with. It is first down and 10. Man in motion here is Washington. Oh, they are on him in a flash, and he's lost the football. One of his teammates is there to pick it up.
Sometimes these games in the NFL, Mike, they get decided by simply how the ball bounces. I mean, how often do we see a quarterback in the pocket get strip sack, and that ball ends up going the other direction? Fortunately for them, they can regroup, get back in the huddle, and live another day. Ball falls into the hands of his own guy, and they'll see if they can dodge this bullet.
And he'll pick his way forward, a gain of about 5. And that's going to set up third down. Hill brought in motion. They'll fake the handoff. Now, Tua. That's over the middle and caught by Smith. He's going to be brought down very close to that line to gain. They're going to mark him just a bit short. And now it's 4th down.
The key to good route running, Mike, is deceiving the man covering you into thinking you're doing one thing, and then you change it and do the other. And in this case, he had the defender thinking this was a vertical downfield route. And then next thing you know, he gets...
And he's into the end zone. Devon Achane. Touchdown, Miami.
When you start talking about the qualities of a top-tier back in the NFL, Mike, we all talk about size, speed, the ability to keep your feet, the ability to have balance at contact. But the part we don't talk enough about is patience, understanding the blocking scheme, the timing, when to hit the hole, as much as what hole to hit. And I think you get a great example of what that looks like when it all comes together. He takes advantage of the scheme, and next thing you know, he hits his head on the goalpost.
Jason Sanders on for the point after. The kick is good. And the Dolphins will take a 7-0 lead. After the touchdown, Myers is back to boot this one away. Here's Darius Davis to return it. Oh, he's got room past the 30. The Chargers offense ready to get back at it. They'll be hoping to match that touchdown from a moment ago. 7-0 our score as this drive begins with a 1st down. Now it's Herbert. Throwing left side, and it's taken in by Williams. And good yardage there after the catch. They'll wind up with a gain of 7 on 1st down. Here's a 2nd and 3 forthcoming. Now, Herbert. He connects with Disley. And they'll whistle him down, but not before he picks up a 1st down after a gain of 7.
Well, we'll give a little credit here defensively. Even though they allow the 1st down, we've seen defenses really struggle bringing this big tight end to the ground, and they didn't allow him to pick up a bunch of yards after contact, but he was able to get just enough to pick up the 1st down.
To the ground, a 1st down run. Not much there, maybe a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Back to the ground. He'll get it again. And this defense up to the task there. Gain of just 2, and it's 3rd down. Williams in motion. Throwing is Herbert on 3rd down. And that is incomplete.
I think the biggest issue and why they find themselves trailing in this game, Mike, has really just been the ups and downs of this passing game. And sometimes he's highly accurate and efficient, but at others, he just misses too many easy throws. Question is, are they going to be able to overcome this quarterback inconsistency and pull this game out?
Oh, not the greatest punt there. This is going to hit and go out of bounds. Devon Achane ready to take the field with the rest of his Miami offensive teammates. And he's been a big component of the passing game so far. You see the numbers here in the 1st half. This defense is going to need to find a way to key in on him because he's eating them up right now. Hard running there. He'll get this only to about the 13. 2nd down and 8. Here's Tungo Vailoa. He bought all the time he could, but he's going to be taken down as he couldn't get a throwaway. Two minutes remain. First half in a 7-0 game. We'll come back to Miami after this. So, backed up after the sack, and now it's 3rd and long. They'll run this one straight ahead with Achane. Now the Chargers will use the first of their timeouts. Punt team comes out. Dolphins going to kick it away, as he'll have to hit it from his own end zone. A fair catch called for and taken out beyond the 45-yard line. So now here comes the Chargers as they get set to take over once more. They trail here by a touchdown as this drive will start with a 1st down. Shotgun now for Herbert. Quick throw here is complete. Herbert. Catch is made. That is Williams. And that's going to be a 1st down. A pickup of 9.
Really nice job here by the quarterback, understanding what did he need to pick up a fresh set of downs. In this case, that underneath drag route was all it took. Get the ball into the hands of your receiver, pick up a 1st down.
Throwing on 1st down is Herbert. And they'll take this down inside the 35.
That last completion's going to go a long way towards at least finishing this 2-minute drive, Mike, with some points. You're already in field goal range, so now the idea is continue to work the clock down, take a couple shots at the end zone. You want to get points, ideally a touchdown, but either way, you have the ball last before the end of the 2nd quarter.
Now they are in business inside the 15-yard line.
There's this misconception out there, Mike, that in the NFL, you have to run the same amount of run plays as you do pass plays. And as you're seeing in this drive, you can fall on one side of that coin a little bit more as long as you're able to remain effective and efficient. So far, their passing game has dominated here early, and that last pickup leads to a 1st down.
And he's going to run out of time. They get to him and bring him down. Work to do now as they come up on 2nd and long. Conklin goes in motion. Throwing now is Herbert. That is brought in at the 10.
After that 1st down sack, I think we both kind of looked at each other and said, all right, well, there goes this drive. But a really nice job there in the passing game on 2nd down. That big chunk brings them from 2nd and long to now at least 3rd and manageable.
Here's a 3rd down and 4. The Chargers going to use their 3rd and final timeout. Here's Cameron Dicker now on for the field goal. This about as short as you can get. Dicker's kick is good. And the Chargers are on the board. It's 7-3.
And that's a really nice boost here before the break. I mean, you work the clock well, you're able to steal some points. The biggest thing is you're able to build a little momentum now going into the locker room at halftime.
This one is fielded in the end zone, but he will not bring it out. It's a touchback, and this drive will begin at the 30-yard line. On first down, here's Tagovailoa to throw. And that is incomplete. One final chance does not work out. Time has expired. The first half has come to an end.
Okay, Mike, thank you. More from you and Greg in a moment, but for now, welcome one and all to our EA Sports Halftime Report. It was Devon Achane who's had the strong first half. He wound up finding the end zone on a touchdown run to help give his guys the advantage here at the break. These two teams leaving the tunnel, and we'll head out with them. It's time to send it back over to Mike Tirico and Greg Olsen.
Okay, Coach, thanks a bunch. We'll see which team's adjustment's going to pay dividends here. I like we're going to play a big role in who wins this one. Both teams ready to get back at it as we get back underway here on EA Sports. Now an opening past the 30. Nice job on the return. He's down close to the 35-yard line. The Dolphins offense looking to get back to work as we begin this third quarter. The lead sits at 4, so they'll try to add on to that. This drive begins with 1st and 10. 11 yards as they move the chains.
It's pretty evident, Mike, when a quarterback and his wide receiver are operating on the exact same page. The anticipation, the timing, the accuracy of both the route and the ball. And when they're working together like this, that's the definition of teach tape.
Man in motion here is Washington. On the handoff, this is Achane. And nothing on that one, back to the line of scrimmage, and that is it.
You could just see the frustration on the running back's face as he's getting helped up off the ground, Mike. There was just nowhere to go from the moment he was handed the ball. Give credit to the defense. Great job.
They'll try again here. 2nd and 10. Once again, it's Achane. And once again, they try the same runner. They get the same result. Back-to-back carries of no gain. Now it's 3rd down.
Well, it's clear, Mike, this defense is really locked in. They have a clear beat on what this run game plan is. Back-to-back stops for no gain brings up 3rd and long.
It is 3rd and 10. Out of the gun, Tagovailoa. Nowhere to get away, and he's going to go down.
We're starting to see in these passing situations, Mike, this defensive line is starting to have their way against this group up front because right now, their pass protection is breaking down, and his quarterback's paying the price for it.
Punt team headed out for the Dolphins, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. That's fielded at about the 18. And he'll be brought down. Short return, and they'll take over there. The Chargers offense ready for their first possession of this second half. They trail by 4. A touchdown gives them the lead. Drive begins with 1st and 10. Throwing, Herbert. That's a short one taken in by Conklin. And they'll get about 4 here as he is taken down. Here's a 2nd and 6. Herbert to throw. He'll swing this one out wide to his running back. And they'll work this close to a 1st down, maybe just a tad short.
There's a lot of ways to get the ball in the hands of your running backs, and it's not always by just handing it to them. In this case, it's a simple check down, picks up a good gain, brings up 3rd down.
They don't need much. It is 3rd and inches. Try to pick this one up on the ground. A gain of 11 on that one. And the Chargers have the first down.
You can see the trust they have in this running back and the offensive line. You're facing a 3 and out. You're trying to extend this drive, turn around, hand it to the guy behind you, and let him do the rest.
Herbert now on first down. To the left side, catch made by McConkey. And he'll be taken down, but they are in business inside the 30-yard line.
Points have certainly been hard to come by in this one today, Mike, but it seems like this drive has been what they've been searching for. A little bit of rhythm, the ability to sustain. Now they got to finish. Now they got to capitalize on these first downs and go finish with 6.
So they come to the line for first down and 10. Lone back in the backfield. He'll get the carry here. And he brings it down to about the 28-yard line. Play is made on defense by Jordan Brooks. Now after the run, we get a stoppage for an injured player. The training staff going to look and will step out for a moment. They'll come up on a 2nd down and 8. Here's Herbert. Got his man at the 6. And he will score. Tyler Conklin. Touchdown, L.A.
Mike, we used to have a saying that it was the responsibility of the receiver to run the route through the eyes of the quarterback. And I think this is a great example here. 2 guys clearly on the same page. Quarterback expected his target to be in a certain place at a certain time. He's there, ball's delivered accurately. He's able to pick up the rest with his legs, and that's a big-time connection for the touchdown.
Cameron Dicker, the kicker for the extra point. He knocks it through. And the Chargers are on top. It's now 10-7. After the touchdown, here's Dicker out to send this one away. Washington now to return it. Nice job by the return team as he takes it across the 30-yard line. Out comes Miami and the offense to get started on their next drive. This one has been tight so far. A field goal separating the two sides as this drive kicks off with 1st and 10. Now he takes off.
You know, Mike, nice job here by the quarterback, just understanding on these early downs, you just don't want to go backwards. So he's able to avoid the negative play, pick up a little bit, and mostly avoid the sack.
Here's a 2nd and 9. A run up the middle with Achane. Achane, a first down, and then some. He's taken down, but just shy of midfield.
This is one of those cases where having high-end speed in the backfield can be such a game changer. The offensive linemen don't need to hold their blocks quite as long. You give this guy a little bit of a crease, and man, he is gone.
They'll motion the tight end, Smith. On first down, Tagovailoa. And he will slide to a halt with a penalty marker down on the play. So let's check out this call. Here's Achane. Room to run past midfield. And he's going to be taken down on the other side of the 50-yard line.
Big hole up the middle. The interior of this offensive line did a great job clearing some space. The back saw it quick, and he hit it. The next thing you know, he was in the secondary for a big pickup.
First and 10. Man in motion here is Washington. A run out of the gun with Achane. Well, they weren't going to get him the second time with the same back. Defense all over that one. They stop him for no gain.
These edge rushers, they are judged by their sack totals, Mike. They love to rush the passer. But they have responsibilities in the run game as well. Great job here, keeping it to no gain.
On second down, here's Tungo Vailoa. He'll get this out quickly to Hill. He'll get about 6 before he's taken down. They go 5 receivers for third down and 4. A shotgun snap for Tua. He's got his man. It's Smith. 13 yards on that pass play. Good for a Dolphins first down.
Third down is when we see so many tight ends around the league really make their money. They operate in the middle of the field. They're a big, easy target for the quarterback. And even if they are covered, Mike, they're not really ever covered.
Man in motion here is Washington. Play action. Tagovailoa. That's taken in by Achane.
Really well done here by the defense, Mike, executing this zone defense, and they've got to be able to pattern read. You're not just going to drop back to a spot and just play like a robot. Based on what the receivers do off the line, the defenders have different rules of where their zones move to. Well, they had that one dialed in right from the jump, and they were able to stop that play really before it got started.
To the goal line and in. Jalen Waddle. Touchdown, Dolphins.
You know, Mike, at this level, not all touchdowns are created equal. There's some plays that result in touchdowns, and then there are touchdown strikes. And this one is the latter. I mean, you talk about a confidently thrown ball on the money downfield. It doesn't get a lot better than this, and his receiver is able to take it in for 6.
Sanders here for the extra point. He's got it. And the Dolphins are on top. It's 14-10. After the touchdown, Myers is back to boot this one away. This one taken at the 7. And they will finally get him down, but he gets all the way close to the 40-yard line. Justin Herbert back out there. He and the Chargers getting set to go once more. They'll start it here with a 1st and 10. Pistol here for Herbert. There is his tight end, Disley. And he's taken down inside the opponent's 35.
Just seems like every year, Mike, the tight end position just continues to grow within the passing game and establishes a bigger and bigger role. And listen, I know I'm biased, but if you want to have a good passing game, you better have a good tight end.
Here's 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Herbert. Quick throw, taken in, and it'll be brought down as we tick towards the end of this third quarter. So both teams trade touchdowns in that frame as we get through the end of the third quarter. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Out of the gun, here's Herbert. That one complete to McConkey. And they bring him down inside the 25-yard line.
And this is a tricky part of the game for any defense. You find yourself protecting a late lead, and the age-old question is, do you remain aggressive? Do you try to just keep the ball from being thrown over your head and make everything be tackled and played in front of you? That's what every defensive coordinator struggles with, so they can't get too soft here as they try to hold on to this lead here late. It's rare to see an offense that finds themselves trailing and say, well, their quarterback's been actually one of their biggest bright spots. Usually that doesn't go hand in hand, so it's a little surprising to see him miss a throw like that on a day where he's completed passes at a highly efficient rate.
Now a first carry for the Alabama product, Najee Harris. And he'll be taken down.
The story of this drive has just been their ability to sustain and get fresh sets of down. Now, in this case, after picking up that big gain on the ground, they find themselves first and goal.
What a moment in this game. A touchdown would give them the late lead. It is first down and goal. Here's a run. He'll get maybe a yard down to the 4-yard line. Inside the 5, it is second and goal. Now it's Herbert. He's got it at the 3. And he won't quite get in. Down to the 1, setting up third and goal.
These are the worst. I had a couple years, Mike, where I swear I got tackled inside the 1-yard line 10 times. And then you look back and you're like, man, how many touchdowns did I leave on the board because I couldn't get one more yard? Now, for him individually, not ideal, but
powering forward. He's in. Touchdown, Los Angeles. What a game this has been. Back and forth we go, and that fourth quarter score changes the lead one more time.
And we've seen the lead go back and forth, Mike, and now the question is, can they get a stop? Can they find a way defensively to hang on to this lead and get themselves this big win?
Now this, an important extra point here to stretch this lead to a field goal. He's got it. And the Chargers move out to a 3-point edge, 17-14. So now playing with the lead after that fourth quarter touchdown, trying to kick it back the other way. Washington now to return it. Good return, but he pays the price at the end. Picked up and thrown down. The Dolphins offense ready to take over possession of the football. They'll begin with 1st and 10. From the gun, here's Tua. That's caught on the right side by Waddle. And they bring him down, but not until he gets the 45-yard line.
As this game continues to come down to the wire, Mike, it just reminds us, this is where quarterbacks earn their keep. You are judged by how you play in these critical moments. In fourth quarter, down a score, it doesn't get much bigger than this.
Tua now on 1st down. And they'll move this one down inside the 40-yard line.
And if he's late with that throw, Mike, there's a really good chance a defender could have made a play on it. But he does a beautiful job. He puts the ball out in front of his shoulder, leads the receiver, and allows him to get upfield and pick up the 1st down.
Ball rests at the 37. It's 1st and 10. Here's Tagovailoa. And he finds Tyreek. And they bring him down, but not until they get inside the 30-yard line.
Every quarterback's dream is, can I get the ball out of my hand as fast as possible and get it to a guy that can do the rest after the catch? And it seems like nowadays, throughout the entire league, the best offenses thrive in yards after the catch.
In motion, it's Waddle. And the back judge throws the flag. He looks at the ball, looks at the clock. Clock says 0. That's a delay of game. Again, it's Tua. That's over the middle and caught by Smith. And they are in great shape. He's taken down inside the 10.
That's a really important pickup there on that last completion. Not only does it set up 1st and goal, but allows everybody in the huddle to just take a deep breath. We're no longer in this frantic offensive possession. Let's get our best play. Let's make sure everyone understands what to do, because we know we need to finish this off with 6 if we can. And now being 1st and goal is going to go a long way in allowing that to be possible.
And they'll get him down right around the 5-yard line. Here now, 2nd down and goal. Man in motion here is Washington. On the ground is H.A. A second effort, and he is in. Devon Achane. Touchdown, Miami. That is 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. Good drive. They kept the ball. Greg, they moved it effectively down the field and finished it off on the ground for the touchdown.
So often, Mike, we see teams work on a great drive to get down here close, only to settle for a field goal. But in this case, give them a lot of credit. They put a great drive together, but they're able to capitalize and finish it off with 6.
So now playing with the lead after that 4th quarter touchdown. Time to kick it back the other way. Now return coming from the 7. And he is stopped at the 25. The drive will begin there. The visitors' offense. And Justin Herbert getting set for this next drive. And he has been masterful so far leading this offense, keeping the mistakes to a minimum, on point with his passes. Generally, one step ahead of the defense all game long.
You know, there's a fine line between trusting your arm and having a little bit too much faith in your arm, right? I think this was one of those situations here, Mike, where there was nowhere to go with the ball. He tries to fit that one in there anyway, and he's lucky that it just falls incomplete.
Herbert to throw on 2nd down. And they'll work this close to a 1st down, maybe just a tad short. Time now becoming a factor as we get to 3rd down. They'll try to get this one on the ground. And he didn't need much. I don't think he got there. It's going to depend on the spot. Looks like he is short on that one.
You want to see linebackers play downhill, Mike, meaning there's not a lot of side-to-side pursuit. They're attacking the line of scrimmage, attacking the ball carrier. That's exactly what we saw out of this guy here. He's able to make the stop at the line of scrimmage and keep it to no gain.
And he'll get forward a few yards on the return. The Dolphins offense ready to take over once again. They'll see if they can put something together here, beginning with 1st and 10. To throw is Tua. This one complete to Washington. That one good for a dozen and a very quick 1st down.
A lot could go wrong anytime you decide to put the ball in the air here late in the 4th quarter as you're trying to run out the clock and protect this lead. But at the same time, I like that they haven't gone super conservative, just handoff right, handoff left, and it just turns into tackling practice. So I like the balance of making the defense defend everything, because right now, possess the ball, protect the ball, and ultimately just run the clock out.
So, 2 minutes to play here in the 2nd half. Greg and I back for the conclusion in a moment. Here's a 2nd and 12. Tua going to give it to Achane. And he's going to be taken down right at midfield. So, fresh out of the 2-minute warning, they'll use another timeout on this side of it at 1:55. They'll come up here, 1st and 10. They'll run with Achane. And that's the way you want to run it on 1st down. A gain of 7. Second down and 3. Now Achane. And he'll get the 1st down there, a pickup of about 5 yards. On the carry, here's Achane. And they will take him down at the 20-yard line. The Chargers going to use their 3rd and final timeout. They'll be disappointed there after giving up the 1st down. The defense still with all 3 timeouts at their disposal as the quarterback's down to a knee. So a win here for the Dolphins. They were the aggressors from the start, able to dictate the pace of play, and in the end, they come away with the victory. So that'll do it for us. For Greg Olson and our terrific team behind the scenes, I'm Mike Tirico. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. Follow us on X at EA Madden NFL. The Dolphins, home winners here as we say farewell from South Florida.